Thank you for being here. And we'll present in both language, in French or in English, not Chinese, not Japanese. But the slides will be in English, so it will be possible for everybody to understand. And if there is something not so clear, please ask and we try to explain. So, we'll speak of ICME mainly, taking profit of some coincidence, historical coincidence, because the first ICME conference was in Lyon in 1969, and the next one will be in Shanghai. And as we are three members of the International Program Committee here, Takeshi Nakawa from Japan, Lilian Shu from China, and me, it was a good occasion to explain something about the context, the history, the challenges of ICME. And Binyan is also co-chair of the organizing committee of ICME, so she's at the center of what will be organized in 2 years. So we will present this seminar in 4 parts. The first part will be my part about the history of ICME from Lyon and to recent past. Then Takeshi will explain his own experience of several ICMEs in different continents, and Lilian will explain, will situate the challenges of next ICME and the state of preparation of this conference. And then we will present some collaborative projects between Shanghai and ENS de Lyon in the domain of mathematics education. Ok? Et maintenant, je vais parler en français. Et puis, le reste est en anglais. Je pense qu'on peut situer la naissance d'ICME un peu, et donc Sonia, un peu avant, même bien avant le premier ICME, c'est la naissance d'une revue, l'enseignement mathématique, en 1899. Et pour ceux qui sont intéressés, à l'ENS de Lyon, nous avons tous les exemplaires de l'enseignement mathématique depuis le début. Si vous demandez l'enseignement mathématique, on vous portera sur un chariot tous les numéros depuis un siècle et demi. Bon, ce journal a été fondé en 1899 par un Suisse et un Français. Et il a été en langue française, et encore aujourd'hui, l'enseignement mathématique paraît en langue française et anglaise, avec, je crois, à un moment, des parties en italien ou en russe, c'est-à-dire les langues qui, à cette époque-là, étaient les langues principalement parlées par la communauté internationale des mathématiques. Et cette revue avait plusieurs objectifs. D'abord, associer le monde de l'enseignement à cet immense mouvement de progrès, de solidarité scientifique qui émergeait à la fin du XIXe siècle. La fin du XIXe siècle, la révolution industrielle, les progrès de la science dans tous les domaines, et l'illusion aussi que la science allait résoudre les problèmes de l'humanité dans un grand mouvement de fraternité, ce qui n'a pas été exactement le cas au XXe siècle. Et puis cette idée de comparer les façons d'enseigner dans différentes parties du monde. Et Henri Fer a été le rédacteur en chef de cette revue, vous voyez, pendant 60 ans, plus, ce qui était rare dans l'histoire de l'éducation. Et puis on peut toujours consulter toutes les revues de l'enseignement mathématique, elles sont en ligne, et vous pouvez très facilement consulter, si vous voulez avoir une idée des problèmes posés par l'enseignement des mathématiques dans le monde. Ça, c'est la première étape, 1899. Ensuite, en 1908, c'est la naissance de ICME. Alors, ICME, c'est la Commission internationale pour l'enseignement des mathématiques, International Commission for Mathematics Instruction, à ne pas confondre avec le congrès ICME. Alors, pour comprendre la naissance de ICME, il faut comprendre l'intérêt des mathématiciens, en particulier en France et en Allemagne, pour l'enseignement des mathématiques. Des gens comme Darboux, Poincaré, Borel, Hadamard, c'était des grands mathématiciens de l'époque, étaient intéressés par l'enseignement directement. Gaston Darboux, par exemple, a piloté la réforme curriculaire de 1902. en France. Et la réforme curriculaire de 1902, c'est une réforme qui a complètement bouleversé les équilibres de l'enseignement. À partir de 1902, from 1902, the science, I mean mathematics, physics and biology, became more important than humanities. Latin, Greek, French language, so it was really a huge change. And Poincaré, Borel et Adama made lectures, donc on fait des conférences dans le musée pédagogique qui est l'ancêtre de l'INRP et l'ancêtre du French Institute of Education. It was the case in France, but also in Germany and in Russia. And c'est probablement la raison pour laquelle la Commission internationale pour l'enseignement des mathématiques a été établie par le Congrès des mathématiciens à Rome en 1908. Donc les mathématiciens réunis disent bon, il faut une réflexion spécifique sur l'enseignement des mathématiques. Et ils créent ICMAI, avec cette idée de donner un cadre au soutien par les mathématiciens de School Mathematics. Et donc, il y a une résolution qui est adoptée à l'unanimité à l'initiative d'un mathématicien américain, David Eugene Smith, qui est un mathématicien très intéressant, c'est un mathématicien, un historien des mathématiques et très intéressé aussi par l'enseignement des mathématiques. Et il crée ICMAI avec la demande initiale de comparer les façons d'enseigner les mathématiques au niveau de l'école secondaire, au niveau de high school. Et on peut trouver toute cette histoire là, à cette adresse qui est bien décrite. Donc 1908, c'est le début de la Commission internationale. En fait, cette commission, l'idée avait déjà été formulée dans l'enseignement des mathématiques. Souvent, les idées, enfin la plupart du temps, les idées qui sont prises sont initiées bien avant, avec cette idée de la recherche des conditions qui permettent l'enseignement des mathématiques de façon optimale. Et ça a été pendant 6 ans une comparaison internationale extrêmement approfondie qui a mobilisé des dizaines de mathématiciens et qui a abouti à une étude de 187 volumes qui compare l'éducation des mathématiques dans 18 pays avec 310 rapports, certains faits par des mathématiciens, d'autres par des inspecteurs, enfin bon. Donc c'est une source d'information sur les mathématiques au début du XXe siècle qui est tout à fait précieuse. Et puis, dans toute institution, il faut un président, et c'est Klein, Félix Klein, le grand mathématicien allemand, qui va prendre la direction de ICMAI. Et l'enseignement mathématique, qui est la revue officielle de ICMAI, de cette époque à maintenant. Alors ensuite, je fais un grand saut. Il s'est passé beaucoup de choses en fait. Après 1908, vous imaginez la Première Guerre mondiale, the First World War, qui a fait éclater toutes les institutions, ICMI comme tous les autres. Les mathématiciens, hélas, étant impliqués dans les affrontements de cette époque, certains mathématiciens allemands disant qu'il fallait rompre avec les mathématiciens français et le contraire. Pour certains, donc, les institutions ont éclaté et elles ne se sont pas vraiment reconstruites entre les deux guerres. Puisqu'on peut dire que from the end of the First World War, it was the preparation of the second one. So, it's a very tumultuous history, histoire tumultueuse dans les pays et dans les communautés scientifiques. Bon, il y a eu comme président de ICMAI des mathématiciens à chaque fois prestigieux. Après Félix Klein, il y a eu quelques autres, et puis Jacques Adama, un mathématicien français, spécialiste de la géométrie, qui a écrit d'abord en anglais, puis après en français, The Psychology of Learning Math, or something like that. Donc, le mathématicien s'intéressant au ressort du travail des mathématiques. Donc ICMAI a été reconstitué en 1952, donc une réorganisation de cette commission, avec des présidents comme un Américain, Marshall Stone, et à nouveau un Français, Lichnerowitz. Alors je donne ce nom, de 1963 à 1966, parce que Lichnerowitz, qui était président de ICMI, a ensuite été choisi par le gouvernement français pour totalement repenser l'enseignement des mathématiques. Et Lichnerowitz était membre du groupe Bourbaki, qui pensait les mathématiques comme un ensemble totalement structuré. Et the purpose of the Bourbaki group was to rethink mathematics for essentially rethinking mathematics teaching. Donc c'était aussi une volonté de repenser l'enseignement des mathématiques. Et donc Lichnerowitz est passé de ICMI à l'organisation en France de la refonte des enseignements. Alors c'est important parce qu'on se rapproche de 1969, le premier congrès ICMI. Alors cette personne est très importante pour ça, pour la naissance de ICMI. Vous le reconnaissez? Somebody recognize this man? Very famous one, with Hans Freudenthal, Dutch mathematician, et qui a été le président de ICMI après Lichnerowitz. Et il avait, lui, une vue très particulière de l'enseignement des mathématiques et des mathématiques. Les mathématiques étant vues pas comme un corps de connaissances, mais comme une activité humaine, essentiellement. Donc on peut dire que c'était un peu le contraire de Lichnerowitz. C'est un travail humain et aussi une vue de l'éducation mathématique comme le développement du concret vers le général et une vue de la recherche sur l'éducation mathématique comme un nouveau champ à définir et qui n'était pas réduite à une vue statistique ou psychologique qui était un peu le point de vue jusque-là. Et donc il a pris des décisions tout à fait révolutionnaires à cette époque. Il a pris 3 décisions quasiment en même temps. Il a créé un nouveau journal, Educational Studies in Mathematics, qui est toujours aujourd'hui un journal éminent dans le domaine, avec cette idée qu'il fallait traiter l'enseignement des mathématiques d'un point de vue autonome, comme un nouveau champ à construire, et pas comme une sous-branche des mathématiques. Il a créé un congrès, ICMI. Jusqu'à présent, les réunions sur l'enseignement des mathématiques se déroulaient pendant les congrès internationaux des mathématiciens. Et lui a dit il faut quelque chose d'autonome. Et ça a donné des discussions extrêmement tendues dans AIMU, c'est-à-dire l'Union internationale pour l'enseignement des mathématiques, parce que les mathématiciens voulaient conserver l'enseignement des mathématiques sous leur chapeau, sous leur aile. Et en même temps, elle a créé un institut, qui ne s'est pas appelé comme ça à l'époque, qui s'appelle maintenant le Freudenthal Institute à l'université d'Utrecht. Donc vous voyez ce mouvement venu de ICMI pour créer un congrès indépendant, relativement indépendant, des mathématiciens. Je dis relativement indépendant parce qu'il y avait évidemment la volonté de faire de ce congrès un lieu de rencontre entre les mathématiciens, les mathematics educators, mathematics teachers, etc., mais to have a own view of this congress. Et en même temps, en France, il se passait beaucoup de choses, parce que 1969, vous avez en tête 1968, c'est la grève générale en 1968. Et qu'est-ce qui se passe en 1968, dans ce mouvement de grève générale, très fort dans les universités? Maurice Gleeman était le président de l'Association nationale des professeurs de mathématiques. Et lui, il profite du mouvement, et l'APM aussi, pour dire au gouvernement, nous avons besoin d'instituts spécifiques dans les universités pour repenser l'enseignement des mathématiques. Des instituts qui ne soient pas hiérarchiques, dans lesquels il y ait des professeurs, des universitaires, des inspecteurs, mais avec l'idée d'une collaboration égale. Et on veut qu'il y en ait dans chaque université. Et donc, pour ceux qui ne connaissent pas, Titze, c'est IREM à Lyon que tu as visité. Et au départ, Edgar Faure, le ministre, dit non. Et puis, après une semaine de réflexion, il dit bon, ok, on va créer un seul IREM à Paris. Et Maurice Gleiman dit non, non, il en faut au moins 3. Et donc, il y aura un IREM à Paris, un IREM à Lyon et un IREM à Bordeaux, je crois. Et sur la lancée, donc cette volonté de construction rencontre la volonté de Hans de Frodenthal. Gleiman est nommé directeur du premier IREM à Lyon et il propose d'accueillir le premier congrès ICME. Parce que Frodenthal, il avait la volonté de le faire, mais il n'y avait pas l'endroit. Et ça rencontre exactement la possibilité, la mobilisation de tous les professeurs de mathématiques, en France en tout cas. Et ce congrès va être un grand succès parce qu'il apparaît comme le prolongement à la fois d'une réflexion interne à ICME et d'une mobilisation des professeurs de mathématiques en France, en particulier de l'association des professeurs de maths. Et donc ça a été vraiment une sorte de convergence exceptionnelle, comme il en arrive assez peu dans l'histoire, entre la volonté de changer tout l'enseignement des mathématiques, la volonté de constituer l'enseignement des mathématiques comme un champ, et puis une très forte pression sociale. Ce qui explique qu'il n'y a que en mathématiques qu'il existe ceci en France, par exemple. Il n'y a pas d'institut de recherche sur l'enseignement de la physique. Uniquement en mathématiques, only in mathematics we have such institution in France. Okay, so it was the first ICME conference, and due to the success of this congress in Lyon, the International Mathematical Union accepted the principle to have such a congress each 4 years. Then I have another point which is important for me to underline, the creation of the ICME studies. And for this man, you know this man? Please. Jean-Pierre Kahn, French mathematician, who died 2 years ago, unfortunately. And he was a chair of ICME. And he said, okay for the Congress, but if we want to constitute mathematics education as a new field, we'll have to organize specific studies in depth. Si on veut constituer ce nouveau champ, il faut qu'on constitue des moments d'études fondamentales. Et ça a été le cas des ICME Studies. Et à chaque fois, ces études focalisent sur un point d'intérêt profond dans l'éducation mathématique. Ces études sont construites autour d'une conférence internationale. Donc ce n'est pas des congrès ICME, mais des conférences internationales thématiques sur un thème. Et à chaque fois, l'objectif est d'avoir un volume et de soutenir la discussion au niveau national et international avec un haut degré d'exigence scientifique. Dans des études, ce n'est pas uniquement faire le point sur, c'est tracer des perspectives de recherche pour les communautés concernées. Et la première étude était en 1985, about l'influence des ordinateurs sur l'influence des ordinateurs et de l'informatique sur les mathématiques et leur enseignement. Mais c'était une étude quand même très actuelle parce qu'elle distinguait bien les ordinateurs, d'une part, et l'informatique comme nouveau domaine de connaissances. Et la prochaine, si je ne m'abuse, sera la 24e. Elle a pour thème School Mathematics Curriculum, Reform, Change Opportunities. C'est possible de voir sur le site de ICME l'ensemble des études et aussi d'avoir accès à l'ensemble des documents préparatoires. Ça donne une bonne vue sur, combien d'années, sur 40 ans, presque, une bonne vue de ce qui a motivé et voir des progrès aussi des études dans le domaine. Voilà, et puis une dernière date, je vous avais dit qu'en 1908, c'était la création d'ICME, et en 2008, ça a été le centenaire de ICME. Il y a eu un symposium qui s'est tenu à Rome pour célébrer le 100e anniversaire. Il a réuni entre 150 et 200 personnes, j'ai eu la chance d'y être, C'était sous ce titre-là. Il y a un volume qui en est sorti, qui fait le point sur ces 100 ans d'histoire. Et il y a eu en même temps des groupes d'études. J'ai participé au groupe sur la technologie. Et il y a un article que vous pourrez avoir, que j'ai écrit avec Michela Maschetto, une Italienne, qui collabore avec l'équipe, et qui fait le point sur 100 ans d'histoire des ressources et de la technologie sous l'angle des laboratoires de mathématiques. Comment l'utilisation de nouveaux outils à chaque fois a stimulé la possibilité de travailler de façon ouverte pour apprendre les mathématiques. Alors tout ça c'est sur un site et vous verrez beaucoup d'informations sur ce site-là. Voilà, ça c'est pour, vous voyez, une histoire, quand même une histoire assez exceptionnelle parce que on voit les effets d'une communauté, les effets propres aux mathématiques qui sont constitués assez tôt pour penser l'enseignement des mathématiques de façon spécifique, et puis en même temps les événements politiques, sociaux, universitaires qui ont abouti à ces résultats. Ok, and I give the floor to Takeshi Miyakawa for personal point of view.
So I will talk about some specific aspects of ICME conference through my experience, my personal experience of participation of last 4 conferences I attended. So this is just a kind of some kind of memory I had. So the first conference I attended was in ICME 10 in Copenhagen in 2004. So I show some picture. I don't take much picture, so it is not a very good picture, but this is kind of the entrance, and this is kind of the main hall. There's a lot of people. I think there are 2,500 people participants. And this is happy hours. We are drinking beer with a great Japanese professors. I'm in the middle, small, because I was young at that time. And I was with little money.
And who is this woman?
This is my wife. I am quite young. And as this was the first time, I was just interested in presenting my research work and attend several talks in terms of scientific researches. But I think that at that time the organization was quite different from now, because there was a topic study group, probably everyone knows. I think there were only 27 or so. So in each topic study group was relatively big. So I was in the group for the teaching and learning proof, and I think there are 100 people in the auditorium. So there was not so much discussion, but this is mainly for the presentation of the research result. What I found after this conference was the trip is very long, because the program it consists of 8 days, from 8 or 9 to 20, and of course there is an excursion. But I remember that before coming to this conference, I was so busy in Japan, because I was in Japan at that time. And during the conference, I got sick. I got cold. Oh. And there's a funny story about that, because I was at first in the youth hostel, and then after that I was in the individual homes. I was doing homestay, and I was sick at that time. Oh. But there was a bit long story about that, but I don't think about it. But what makes the trip longer is also the satellite conferences. Usually there are several conferences which are organized before and after ICME conference. And at that time I was also, the PME conference was held in Bergen in Norway. I attended this conference too, so it takes in total probably more than 2 weeks, 20 days or so to attend this conference. So you have to pay attention to your health when you attend the conference. So I think for the next ICME conference, it will be in Shanghai, and the PME will be in Beijing after the conference. It
Change.
It changed already. I don't know. And HPM will be also somewhere. I don't know where. So then the next conference I attended was in Mexico. At this time, I also took some picture, but not good. The TV on Monterey, and it is some kind of
Japan, Casio.
Mexico. This is the conference site, and there's my friend who was selling acoustics.
Oh,
Everybody know, from Bruno. And this is also the present. I'm presenting the same group too. But in this time, the organization was very different. There are not so many participants. The first time is 100 people, and then in this case there are only 20 people. And what I felt during this conference was the conference was very big because there are 3,000 people at participants. And it was kind of a festival, like a science festival. And sometimes I found also that the scientific quality of presentation was not very high. Sometimes it's low. And because there are sometimes the presentation just about the teaching experience, or sometimes just a presentation of the curriculum or teaching material. But I was also thinking that at that time that maybe the smaller conference specific the research might be good in terms of the research. But this conference, as Luke said, this is not only for the researchers, but also the mathematicians, teacher educators, and the teachers. And mainly it was the mathematicians who created this conference. So there are a lot of mathematicians. But I think that today much more researchers, I think the researchers dominate because even the International Program Committee before there are much more mathematicians. Even besides some people from Japan, usually they are looking for at first a mathematician. It's a mathematician who take care of the ICMAI organization. And so in this way, there are different kind of actors. The interest of each interest might be different for this conference. So that's why there are different kind of activities. But I think it is a good place also to have a communication between different kind of people, and also to see different kind of the work carried out by different actors, like mathematician or teacher. And also what is also interesting is that important is that this is in the cross-cultural setting. So mathematics teaching or learning is a very cultural activities. It's quite different from different countries. And also even the researches are very rooted in each culture. Like here, the people working a lot in resources, but there are not so many people working in resources in Asian countries. So probably this kind of problematic was raised from the mathematics teaching in different countries. So the next conference I attended was in Korea in 2012, and I also took some pictures. No, these are not the picture I took. I couldn't find in my machine, but I could find many pictures in the website. Almost all the pictures taken by the photographer are uploaded in the website. So this is a picture that Shibara who got Freudian mirror here, so French mediation. But in this conference, I think that there are not so many French people. I think I can count. I think probably 10 or so.
10 among 2,000?
10 among 2,500.
I hope that is the case in Shanghai.
Yeah, there's so many people in this. And there's also some kind of exhibition of different kind of mathematics. So this is a Korean case. And this is the first session. People. I don't have much to say about this, but concerning the South Korea or Asia, I'd like to a little bit talk about the short history about Japan relation with ICMI, because Luke talked mainly French thing, but there are no Japanese. Because I looked for several information on the internet, and I found that from the very beginning, the Japanese people have participated in the economic conference. Even for the first time in Lyon, there are 5 Japanese who participated, and for the second there are 40, and third time there are 80 or Japanese participants. And also, I also found that the Japanese mathematician, well-known mathematician in Japan, was the president of ICMI in 80s, Shoichi Yanaga. And I think he became the president because of some French people, because he had a strong relationship with French mathematicians, and he was also writing a lot of paper in French, and he also got the Légion d'honneur from French government due to his scientific work. And he worked a lot on mathematics. Even he was died in 2006 or 7 at the age of 100. But the last paper was published at the year 100, written in French, and the title was it was a kind of the review paper of 60 pages, and he reviewed the work of Chevalier, the French mathematician at the same age, I think. So it was in French, 60 pages. So probably because of the relationship with French people, they become Christian. I'm not sure. And we had also ICMI 9 conference in Tokyo, Paris, in 2000. In 2000, there are also participants was also 2000, almost 2000. And at that time, we spent a lot of money, and we had a shortage of budget. We couldn't have enough budget for how you say the lead. What do you say that? Deficit of the budget. Because probably it was in Asian countries that so far from the European countries, we could not have enough participants. And right now, the actual president of IMU is also the Japanese guy, because usually the IMU president is also a member of the ICMI, executive committee. Okay, it was a small short story, and the Hamburg, the first one was in Hamburg 2 years ago. I think there are some people here participated in this conference. There were so many people, participants, 3,700 participants this time. There was a kind of a reception in that building, historical building, and the posters, and also my text. And what is remarkable with this conference was what I thought was this proceedings, because they have published the proceeding, the left one, and also they published the other. It was for free, and they also published the books. And, there are 26 titles in total. So it from the different activities. So like the book from invited lectures, and the book from the topic study group, and the book from the discussion groups. So they have published so many books, and probably it is thanks to chair of the Congress, Gabriel Kaiser, who is very close to Springer. I'm not sure for the next time. But what was also interesting is that usually the proceeding in ICMI was published very late. So it takes 3 or 4 years. So when you forget something, you get the proceeding by mail. For example, in the case of the ICME conference, the proceeding was like that, 10 income. And it includes only some activity, preliminary activity, and some report of the CMPT discussion group. And sometimes in Mexico there was no paper version, it's only on the website. So there are kind of different variations. And in Korea it was the cross-reading and also the selective evaluation. And I think since this time we publish more they publish when the proceedings. So this is a fourth evolution of proceeding I remarked from the fourth conference. Yeah, that is
Okay. Jan, up to you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, Luke, providing me this opportunity, and I can unofficially announce our ICME 14 2020 because the official announcement will be at the end of this month. I think.
Okay. Give it for us.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the next ICME, this ICME 14, will be held in July 12th to 19th in Shanghai, and then 2020, 2 years later. And where that will be here, this is the map of the Shanghai, and here is located our conference venue, and the venue is nearby our university, East China Normal University. And then in the near we have the international airport, Hongqiao Airport, and of course the main international airport is here. And it looks like far away. This is far away, but don't worry. We have very good system, really, very good metro system. You see, we have now more than 17 metro lines. There will be more in 2020 because I see the Shanghai government build the metro continued. This is where, and what will be happened, and you can visit the web page. We have already the web page, but now we haven't many informations. At the end of this month, June, we will publish the first announcement and all informations about academic groups or the events and so on. Yeah, please visit our web page. And then we always asked why we host such ICMEs. This is a great event. It costs too many energies and monies and so on. And then I will make some explanation. Yeah, and this time the East China Normal University, where I'm working now, plays the main role in this bidding. But the official bidding body is the Chinese Mathematical Society. But we got authorization, that means also authorized by the CMS. And then our university undertakes this bidding and also plays main role in preparing and hosting the ICME 14. Now I'm the co-chair of LOC. LOC means I do everything just like Sophie did. Yeah, I will work together with Jian Shenbao. Yeah. When I go back, I think the most of the time I must investigate for the preparation. So, yeah, and then our university is one of the most prestigious universities in China. This is some data. We have more than 32,000 students and bachelor and graduate students. And the staffs, we have more than 4,400 staffs. Of course, the academic staffs is of the half, more than 2,000. And then we have so many programs, more than 140 doctor programs, and then more than 200 master programs, and so on. This is very big universities. We have two campuses. One is in the near of the conference venue. Another is far away. So. Yeah, and then in our university we have big team of mathematics education, so we are very proud of it. And I still use the data. Now we have 8 full professors in the math education, and then 6 associate professors, and then we have several young potential researchers. This is very important for us. So, and of course, we have a lot of intensive collaborations with international researchers or research groups. I'm very proud that we have the very intensive cooperation with ENS Lyon. You will see we have later we will explain in detail. So, and then our team in the East China University has a real experience to organize such international conference or international activities. For example, in 2002, this was my first experience to help the scientists to host the satellite conference on math education related to International Congress of Mathematicians, was held in Lhasa in China. This was first experience for me. And then we had the national presentation in ICME 11 in Mexico, and just Tikachi mentioned this national presentation. And why in Shanghai, we always asked? Because Shanghai is the energy for the economy and social development of China, and also a window of Chinese open door policy. And since middle 19th century, Shanghai has been an important city featuring frequent exchanges between Eastern and Western culture. And let's look in the field of mathematician. And as early as in the 16th centuries, and from Shanghai came a knowledgeable scientist, Xu Guangqi, we called, who together with Matthew Richter and translated the first 6 books of the Euclid elements into Chinese. This painting I like very much. I take this painting in the Shanghai Exhibition Center. This is the permanent exhibition. You will find this painting. So, but nowadays, and Shanghai is an important base for mathematics research and education in China. And then look the data again. Shanghai is really a very, very big cities. We will see we have more than 60 higher education institutions and more than 50 million. How to say? 500,000 students. Yeah, of course we have many primary schools and middle schools. We have also the special education schools. The Shanghai government take care very much in such special education. In our university, we have the biggest department of social education, for special education, for research on special educations. And then in the recently, we know Shanghai has a very good, outstanding performance in the PISA test. So 5 years ago, the China government made some report about the Shanghai experience of mathematics education, and include mainly the 3 points. One is because Shanghai has the continuity of the principles of curriculum reform. We always focus on the student development and teachers' professional development. We come together. And the second is the mathematics classroom teaching in Shanghai has open culture. That means the teachers in Shanghai's mathematics classrooms, they're using different kind of teaching approaches, or we call teaching without fixed teaching approaches. And the third is we have very efficient collective mathematics teachers community. Yeah, this is also the characteristics of Shanghai mathematics education. Because we have such data and such academic background, so we try to submit the bidding for ICME 14, and it started already 2013. That means we already worked for 5 years, and then we had 2 years preparation, and in 2015, and delegation from the ICME EC members, they visit us, and we had oral defense in the East China University. At that time, the president of ICME EC was Ferdinando from Italy. Yeah, and then our president and the president of Chinese Mathematician Society was also there support us. And fortunately, we got the host right, we called 2015 in June. That means 1 month later, the ICME EC already announced that Shanghai, China has been announced as the official host city of ICME 14 2020. Yeah, we are very proud of this announcement, but it means also very hard work for us. Yeah, and then in 2016 in Hamburg, we signed agreement with the ICME EC member. Yeah, this is the former president, this is the current president Jia. And then we signed agreement. Yeah, that means we start officially to prepare the ICME 14. And of course, this is at the closing ceremony of the ICME 13 in Hamburg. We give such welcome speech. This is the conference chair of the ICME 14, just like Gabriel Kaiser. This is our former president of East China University. He is also a mathematician. Now he is also mathematics educators. So he is the current chair of the ICME 14. And I'm together with Jian Shengbao, is the chair of local organizing committee. And this is the young woman, is the secretary of the LOC. And then we made a welcome speech. So, and then of course the LOC cannot decide anything. It's just work for organizing, and the academic decisions made by International Program Committee. So we had last year the first International Program Committee in Shanghai. And Luke has already mentioned, we are very proud, 3 members are here now. You guys see Luke and me. And then you will find our face. I hope you will find our face in, in these pictures. You will find Takashi, Luke, and me. Now, of course, you can find our face here. Yeah, this is last year we did a lot of very important decisions. That means IPC decided to, the overall structure of ECME 14 and nominated plenary lectures and proposed the themes and themes of plenary panels, and also nominated invited lectures, and also proposed the themers and the teams on the survey teams. And all these activities will give an overall overview of state of the art within mathematics, education, and all of the world. Of course, for us, it's important is the topic study groups, because the topic study groups will enable the conference participants to actively participate through their own contributions. So I will focus the topic study groups. Takashi mentioned in the 2000 in the ECME 10, this is about only more than 27 TSGs, but now in our ECME 14 2020 will be more than 60 TSGs. So I believe all of you will find topics that fit in your research projects or your research interest in. It's not easier to select which topic I want to attend. Actually, we organize in different blocks. For example, we have blocks just mathematics educations, and at a different level, preschools and gifted and so on. We organize the TSG also in the focus on the content. For example, this is teaching and learning of algebra, or teaching and learning of geometry, or probability, statistics, and so on. This is another block. And the TSG organized also in the different research topics. For example, also the TSG reasoning, argumentation, proof. They keep always. And we have the new neuroscience and mathematics education, cognitive science, and what news, maybe the mathematical applications and modeling. This is the new, not very new, but in comparative to the former ECMEs, this is new. And of course, we have the topic study will focus on the role and use of technology in teaching and the math. Because based on the former experience, such group is too large, so we different according to the different levels, the primary school and the secondary school and the upper secondary school and so on. We try to make the small but intensive groups, intensive discussions. Of course, we have also the block focus on the teachers, educators, and the knowledge of mathematics teachings. There are also several THs groups, and then we have also just focus on the research, how to do the research, and we have also the blocks focus on the research methodology, and also the topic study groups combination between research and practice. So I think you will find one of the topics that fit in your research interests. Yeah, this is also new, equality in math education, or social and political dimensions of math education. So there are small groups but very interesting, and the philosophy and so on. All kinds of topics will be discussed in the ECME 14s. Of course, we have also very open activities we call discussion groups. and are designed to gather Congress participants who are interested in discussing and in active way and certain challenge and emergent issues and also dilemmas of interest to an international audience. So you can submit very free ideas as discussion groups, and you can organize discussion groups, and we will announce your themes or the topics, and the participants will attend your discussion groups. This is one opportunities, and another is work groups. And work groups aim for even deep interactions with a specific topic, emphasize activities of the participants. I know for the Japanese colleagues, they like such workshop. They show how to, through the paper making paper. Someone they will introduce Cabriere, how Cabriere applied in the mathematics classroom and so on, so workshops. And then, of course, we encourage the countries who want to make the national presentations. Now we will call for national presentations. This is activities during which representatives of a given countries who make presentations on state and trains in the math education in that countries. This not easier. I don't know if French as country has interest in to make such national presentations. Or together with Japan. I also talked with Michel Attig, and this is really the challenge for the mathematicians education group in the national. It's not so easy organized. Of course, during your attend academic conference, you have also cultural and social activities. Of course, you will get experience in the social and the cultural activities in Shanghai. Shanghai city is very special. They have special relationship to the French. That means since the end of 19th century, we had the French concession. You will still see when in 2020 you visit Shanghai, you see this building. It's the symbol of the French and Shanghai relationships. We call this Wukang building. I hope you will recognize, or you agree this is the French style building, right?
Yeah.
I hope so.
One of the styles.
Yeah, one of the style. And then we have very famous street, we call Hensan Street. This at that time was in the French concession. This is in Shanghai, not in French or in Lyon, okay? This is in Shanghai. So, I like this garden very much. Every 2 months I will visit these gardens. This at that time we called the French gardens. Now it's Fuqing Garden. You can take a metro. It's very easy to visit these gardens. Of course, in Shanghai, we not only the French style cultures or visitors, we have also very typical Shanghai visitors. This is Zhujiajiao, it's a very famous water village because it has already more than 2,000 years old histories. And look, visit this water village. And it's also very important for me because since after I birth, and then I went there because my parents has, this is Cultural Revolution and so on. So my parents sent me to one of the family in this village. I lived there for 6 years. That means 0 years old and to 6 years old. I live in this village. It's very nice. So I have no time to show more pictures. You need to get the experience by yourself. Welcome. I think I will.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
so this.
some elements about
Yeah,
just before discussing some elements about the cooperation, because there is cooperation between China and France, but more specifically between Rennes de Lyon and Châteauneuf. And this cooperation, la coopération a commencé en 2014 avec un projet qui a mobilisé l'éducation mathématique et l'enseignement des sciences. C'est the French-Chinese Laboratory for Comparing Curricula. And then ensuite on a davantage centré sur l'enseignement des mathématiques à cause des personnes qui se sont impliquées, avec deux projets qui à chaque fois ont considéré l'enseignement des mathématiques, les ressources et le travail collectif des enseignants. Parce que the collective work of teachers is really constitute an interest for Chinese tradition with a teaching research group and so on. It's not the case in France, but this institute, I mean the French Institute of Education, try to organize innovative way of working for teachers, and we name this Lieu d'éducation associée à l'IFE, Associated Education Places to IFE, and I think you have visited such a middle school in the south of France. And so it was interesting for us to develop such cooperative research. And the last project was the matric project. And mathematics teachers, resources in time of transition. And c'est exactement le même projet qu'un projet en France, Prémat projet, qui est le penser des ressources des mathématiques dans un temps de transition. It was an occasion to compare what happened in a time of transition with the plural. I mean, we mean transition of curriculum and digital transition. So a lot of projects. And if we could develop such intensive collaboration, it's also due to the PhD students. Because we have now 4 PhD students, and it's a good way for having a continuous collaboration. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like this this picture or this made by our doctor students. I like this very much. You will see the cooperation, and inside, just like an Earth, we have different supervisors, and Lectouche and Sophie and Jenna is not here. And from the ECNU is me and Jian Shenbao. And this is the group of the supervisors. And I'm very proud of our doctor students, and Chongyang, Fang Chun, Xizi, and Mingyu. She will come, I think, at the end of August or at the beginning of September. He has already got the scholarships. And Luke has already mentioned this is the we call double PhD program, right? That means that when the student finish the PhD programs, he will get the PhD degree from Lyon, and also at the same time get the degree from the PhD degree from East China universities. And then because they will get the 2 degrees, so of course we need 2 supervisors. So this is the co-supervisors. You see the lines, yeah, that the relations who has the 2 who will supervise who. That's very nice network. And Luke already mentioned it's the big areas is about resources. We know through we have already cooperation, I think, more than 5 years.
Yeah.
Through the more than 5 years cooperation, we know the resources in the practice of the Chinese teachings. We have a lot of resources. but the research on resources is not so popular. So through the cooperation, we learned a lot from the research teams here at IFE, and then we try to combine the researchers on resources and to the practice on the resources in Chinese content. So this is very important for us. And then the four doctoral students, they selected very interesting research questions. For example, Chong Yang's work pays particular interest on the expertises in teachers' documentation work and mathematics teacher professional development in collective resource work. And in her PhD studies, and 2 groups of math teachers from lower secondary schools already followed, and he hopes to explore the components of the documentation expertises and the mechanisms for its development through the constructing 2 cases. And the Fangchun's thesis will focus on the instrumental orchestrations for math teachers in dynamic geometry environment. So in the researches, he will pay attention to one of the special resources. This is mathematical tasks with dynamic geometry, and analyze the different roles of dynamic geometry in teachers' didactic process. So we hope we will also constructing cases. And Shizi is just beginning with her doctor programs, and she is studying valuations in teaching mathematics through the lens of resources, because the valuations practice is very typical, very popular in Chinese mathematics classrooms. And she will compare the similarities and the difference of the variation in Chinese math teachings and with that of the French. The variation can be the variation of teachers themselves, and also the variation of the exercise of base of 辨识教学. That's we try to find a very maybe we try to find a translation, but now we just use the Chinese word 辨识. 辨识 means actually the variation. Yeah, also the theory of variation and the deducted variables and the changes of register and so on. So we are very interested in the deducted variables in the French settings. Yeah, this is Xizi. And Mingyu, of course, Mingyu will discuss with Jana and with Jiansheng. He said she is adopting the comparative analysis and design research methodology. And the research will be devoted to describe how the digital learning environment can promote the learning of analytic geometry concept. In particular, what is the relationship between the development of student thinking level, amount, hypothetical learning trajectory, and the development of student individual instrumental genesis of dynamic geometry software. Yeah, this is just the ideas to begin with the PhD programs. Yeah, this is our 4 doctor students, and co-supervised by ECNU professor and by IFE professors. We are very proud of them. So, which all of you are complete success. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we have time to discuss about many things. ICME story, ICME congress, and ongoing research. And so you are the good person with Takeshi and Binyan for answering your question about the history and the future.
Donc, Je n'ai pas vu toutes les choses que tu as dit, mais tu as parlé de Piaget.
Non.
Tu n'as pas, penses pas que
Non.
c'est important?
Yeah. Can I ask about the importance of Piaget? Yeah, obviously it's important. There's been so many aspects. For example, I've only presented the history of ICME, but we have also other organizations. For example, Gilles would speak about CIRM, which was developed through the work of Piaget, Choquet, Dieudonné, and in French.
La première réunion de ICME, Piaget, là.
Yeah.
Donc
Also.
il a participé.
Yeah. So, very,
I also
yeah.
no, because I look for the proceedings of the last meeting, and in the website of the ICME, you can see the table content of each proceeding for the first time. And then if you go to the first one, you can find the name of Piaget. So Piaget gave the plenary talk.
Yeah, and Piaget played very important role in China. In our university, we have special research center on Piaget's theories, ideas, and practice. And some of our mathematics teachers know the theory of Piaget. They try to imply such theories into the practice because they know in the primary school we don't provide such symbolic representations because this is too early. And Piaget's theory tells us that the developmental stages of the conception, understanding, and so on. So this is good suggestions. Maybe I will encourage at the research center on Piaget located in the Department of Psychology. Maybe I will encourage our colleagues from psychology and also attend our ICMEs and try to find Piaget's and mathematics educations, the links. Yeah, it's very important.
First, I have a question for you, Binyan,
Yeah.
about Piaget and Vygotsky.
Yes.
Because Vygotsky has also strong influence through Russia and the Soviet Union, then to China. And Piaget and Vygotsky could be considered as two twin ways of considering the processes of learning. One more considering the cultural approach, and the other one the social approach. And have you a specific reflection about this two way of thinking?
Yes, because Vygotsky, in our I was in the Institute of Comparative Studies, comparative studies, and then in our institute we had the professors specialized in Russia education studies, so they have a lot of researches on Vygotsky's, and now we also often use Vygotsky's ideas and in our education practice or also in the mathematics practices. For example, we understanding how to say 最近发展区 how to say approximate developmental zone. Now it's very popular ideas that also teachers use in the teaching practices.
Because we have also in France a researcher named Vergniaud, and we used him a lot through the notion of scheme. And Vergniaud paid a lot of attention to comparing Piaget and Vygotsky. So it should be interesting to have a discussion about the seminar one day, about the use we made in different countries of Piaget and Vygotsky.
Oui, mais c'est grâce à l'histoire il y a Piaget, pas Vygotsky, l'histoire de l'ICME.
Yes, it was a historical consideration. And Vygotsky died very early. Et c'était
Yeah,
avec les
yeah,
gars,
yeah,
vous
yeah,
savez.
C'est bien.
Ok, d'autres questions, commentaires? Sibelle?
Yes. Good morning. It's just to know your feelings about the presence of the younger researchers in this conference. How do you feel this participation? How can you encourage me or others to participate in this conference? Because I don't know if I am wrong, but in my mind it's a big conference with a lot of experimented teachers and researchers. And how can we interact in this way? Some words about that.
Yes. So I forgot to mention that there will be a very important activities, special for young researchers. Just one day before the ICME 14, we will organize a special day only for young researchers. We will invite very prominent researchers all over the world and then give different kind of workshops or symposium to young researchers. For example, you can also give me some suggestions what you want. Maybe how to do research and research methodology, or how to do the international cooperation and so on. We will organize definitely such a day, and then you can attend this day and then know different kind of very important researchers all over the world, and after that you attend ICME 14. Please, you can give me some suggestions.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, what young research. Yeah, because Ferdinando will help us to organize this. Young research days.
This is a new one since the last time.
Yes.
Before they've done it since Hamburg.
Okay.
Peut-être, Chong-Yang, tu peux dire quelques mots, comme tu as participé au congrès de Hambourg as a young researcher. You could say something about what you learned and your own young researcher's experience.
Actually, the ICME in Hamburg is my first experience to attend the biggest congress. ICME in Hamburg is my first experience to attend this biggest mathematics education conference, and my feeling is perhaps it's good to have a very huge scale of the conference. We have 3,700 participants for this, and but it's quite easy to miss some topics that we are interested in, but they happen at the same time. So after I read through the slides of Professor Sheffield, I can pick up 5 or at least 3 topics I'm interested to follow. So for as a young researcher, perhaps at the beginning it's important to follow the ideas of the TSC groups, and not very easy to select the most interesting and most important.
Okay.
I think this kind of conference, that is Rouge conference, is also a place that you can find very creative works and from young researchers, from the teachers, and I think it give more energy to support it, even the research to go on. It's quite a different, deep, but also
Very broad.
broad.
Yeah.
Yes, one thing about TSG. So Binyan presented 60 on TSG this time. But what is new this time is you may choose 2 TSG.
Yeah.
So before it was only 1 TSG, you have to be there for every session. But this time you may have 2 TSG, you may choose a principal TSG where you present something, and another TSG where you present, you participate and so I think it's a good way to get several information from different perspectives.
Actually, yeah, because as a local organized committee, when you have suggestions, maybe we can also organize additional activities. We will consider if we invite some editor-in-chief of very important journals, and maybe they can give you very helpful informations how to publish articles in the important journals and so on. That will be very helpful for young researchers.
Yeah.
And so we just consider maybe such additional activities in the evening after the official conference.
Katsiane, tu es là? Ok. Katsiane, tu veux poser une question ou faire un commentaire? Ou Francisco?
Non, en fait, je peux dire aussi que c'était super intéressant de participer du mai. Et surtout la question de faire un chapitre dans le livre, c'était vraiment, autant que jeune chercheur, c'était un challenge. Et je pense que c'était travail c'est très intéressant pour rentrer, je pense, dans la communauté d'éducation mathématique. Moi, je ne connaissais pas vraiment les Kimé avant. Je ne sais pas si au Brésil, tout le monde connaît. Mais je sais que j'ai fait un master qui c'est quand même un centre d'éducation. On ne connaît pas trop, parce que aussi, je pense que dans un moment, ça restait un peu européen peut-être. Je ne sais pas, parce que là, comme tu as parlé, c'était un peu lié à l'histoire de la France. Je ne sais pas comment Kimi qu'elle rentre dans l'histoire du Kimi. Je ne connais pas, donc c'est pour ça que je ne peux pas dire. Et donc pour moi, c'était vraiment intéressant la découverte du Séminaire en 2007. Et j'espère aller en Chine. Pour voir en Chine aussi.
Ok. Merci Katsiane.
Merci.
Je pense que la proceeding, c'est vraiment important. Parce qu'avant, quand j'ai parlé 4 fois, et le premier c'était Copenhague, où j'ai présenté quelque chose dans le TSG. Mais ce n'est pas la publication, comment dire, correcte. C'était publié juste sur Internet et ça reste pour quelques années, mais c'est pas. Après, le site est correct. Donc, on travaille quelque chose pour le TSG, mais des fois, ça n'est pas bien reconnu comme travail de recherche. Donc, comme la dernière fois, beaucoup de bouquins de Springer et le travail pour publier dans ces bouquins-là, c'est vraiment bien pour les jeunes chercheurs.
Okay. Perhaps I just could add one information or two. We at ICME, we have a survey team about teachers' regular collective work, chaired by Birgit Pepin. So it's an occasion to have discussion as a follow-up of what we often discuss here about collective teachers' work. And so perhaps we could imagine something for the PhD students between France and you and other PhD students for having a specific discussion group. So, ongoing discussion. So no question, perhaps Takeshi, a last comment?
Last comment? What has changed a little bit is that before there are different type of the accommodation, like homestaying, youth hostel, how is it, gymnasium?
Yeah.
It's just the gymnasium. You go in the Copenhagen, the gymnasium, so you go to the sleeping bag and you just sleep there. And so different kind of. But I think today I think Mexico, I think we don't have such kind of different kind of accommodation. For example, Luke, when he came to Japan, he was staying in
Just
Japan.
very extraordinary experience. In Japan in 2000, perhaps you had 3,000 participants, and among those 3,000 participants, only 50 had chosen to be hosted by people, by families in Tokyo, Chiba. And I had chosen this possibility, and it was really, really fantastic. I mean, we have shared the way of living of one family, and we kept relationships with them during 3 years, visiting them in Japan, and they visited us in France. And it was very interesting to understand the real life of people. It will be the case in Shanghai?
Yeah, it's challenging for us, but we have such case because our university have every year more than 3,000 short-time students. They had accommodation in the different families. So now I'm just talking with we have a special office for foreign students. They have such resources. Accommodation resources, I think is. Yeah, otherwise, around conference venue, we have different kind of hotels. It's good but cheap. Yeah, I think that's okay. Different kind of selections and also 5 stars. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
5 stars. Okay, so thank you. Vinyal, the last word is for you.
Yeah, welcome to all of you. Welcome to us and visit my hometown because I'm original Shanghainese. Yeah, after conference, I will show you my hometown. But during the conference, I don't think so. Yeah, welcome.
Okay, thank you. Merci à vous. Et puis à tout à l'heure. Donc vous savez que nous nous retrouvons à un buffet à midi pour la fin de ces jours étrangers, le début d'autres. Merci.
Merci.